Hi everybody and welcome back to Smart Cook Magic. Today's recipe is going to be a nice semi-dry curry that can be used for chapatis, rotis, phulkas or even some rice varieties like rice with more crumble or rice paired with some yogurt based gravies. The Besan Bhindi semi-dry curry. We will need only basic pantry ingredients for this recipe, and please do look out for a downloadable PDF recipe link in the description box of this video. Make sure you are using tender okra, otherwise the taste of your dish is going to be spoiled. So the usual thing, wash and clean the bhindi and then make sure to get rid of all moisture by patting dry with a kitchen towel. After that, cut off the head and tail ends and make a slit along the length of the bhindi, making sure not to split it in half. Then cut each bhindi into 1-inch long pieces. After this, just marinate the pieces with a few ingredients just for 5 minutes. 2 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice and then toss to coat all the pieces well. So the next thing is we are going to add some spice powders, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of red chili powder and half a teaspoon of salt, followed by 2 tablespoons of besan, kadala maav. Now we have to mix this uniformly. Now the moisture from the lemon juice is enough to help these spice powders and besan to stick to the bhindis. So we're going to do this and then keep this closed for some time. Not too long, about 5 to 6 minutes. And meanwhile, we are going to preheat the air fryer at 180 degrees centigrade for 5 minutes. Heat half a teaspoon of cooking oil. Now we are going to saute 1 cup of diced onions. The onions must become soft and pink. We are going to use this as a garnish in the final step. If you don't want, you can leave this out. Keep the sauteed onions aside and in the same pan add 1.5 teaspoons of cooking oil, and when the oil gets hot, add 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. Allow them to splutter and then add 2 teaspoons of finely chopped green chilies. You can adjust according to your spice preference. Just saute for a few seconds and then add half a teaspoon of asafoetida powder, hing, perengayam, and then 2 to 3 teaspoons of finely chopped ginger. Now the ginger flavor should be dominant in this dish, so feel free to use as much as you can tolerate. And when the ginger becomes nice and fragrant, add 1.5 cups of finely chopped onions. Keep sauteing this on medium-high heat, and when you see that the onions have turned a little golden, add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of red chili powder and a teaspoon of coriander powder. Mix this in well, and after a few minutes, maybe 2 to 3 minutes, add 1.5 cups of chopped tomatoes. Now the tomatoes should preferably be chopped into small pieces, and try to use red ripe tomatoes and not sour ones. Keep sauteing this for 3 to 4 minutes and then reduce the flame slightly and close and keep. Going back to the air fryer, now the preheating is done. Add the marinated bhindi to the preheated air fryer and then set at 180 degrees centigrade for 12 minutes. Just shake the basket once or twice in between. Let that get done, and here it is. Remove and keep aside. Of course, meanwhile, we are going to mind the tomatoes on the stove. So open and stir once or twice in between. And when you see that the tomatoes are becoming glossy, we haven't added much oil. So if you have added a lot of oil, you will see the oil floating on top. But we have used minimum oil. So just look out for the shine in the tomatoes. When that happens, you add half a cup of whisked yogurt. Add the yogurt and then mix it in gently. Now, when doing this, just before adding the yogurt, make sure to completely simmer your stuff. It should be on the minimum heat. So gently mix in the yogurt. You add half a teaspoon of salt or as per your taste. Keep sauteing for some time. The yogurt will dry up a bit and your gravy will attain a semi-dry consistency. Now is the time to add your air-fried bhindi from the air fryer. So throw in the air-fried bhindi into this pan and gently mix in the okra into the gravy. Once the okra is well combined into the gravy, add the diced onions that we sauteed and kept aside. Now mix it in gently again and then switch off the stove. Your dish is done. All you need to do is just garnish with some chopped coriander leaves and remember to serve it hot. Do remember to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. See you again soon on Smart Cook Magic with yet another wonderful recipe. Until then, bye.